Please, baby. You're gonna get blood on your hands.
Time to face the music.
Baby, we need to get out of here.
I have to end this. Are we in bed together now?
Baby.
Baby? Baby.
The movie is called Baby Driver, and it is a 2017 action film which is written and directed by Edgar Wright, who has done films such as Scott Pilgrim, if you all might be familiar with that. And this movie, Baby Driver, stars Ansel Elgort, Kevin Spacey, Lily James, John Bernthal, Eiza González, John Hamm, and Jamie Foxx. And again, this film is all about Ansel Elgort's character of Baby, who plays his young getaway driver who is reluctantly forced into this life of being a getaway driver for these different bank robbers, and essentially he ends up falling in love and wants to go off with his new girlfriend and leave this life behind, but is forced to ultimately make some very questionable decisions in order to achieve that dream of a better life. Now, the character of Baby essentially is us. We are the character of Baby. He is the main focus of this movie. We are looking through the eyes of him every time he pops his earbuds in, every time he pops his shades on, anytime he's listening to music. It always corresponds with what he's doing, and the music and the iPods that he uses ultimately reflect what he is feeling and what we as the audience are feeling ultimately as well. And one of the things that I really got to spotlight here is the relationship between Elgort and James's character. Again, this is an action movie to the core, but then within that core you can also tell this is a love story, and the love story is driving itself straight through, kind of like similar with Deadpool. Deadpool was ultimately an action comic book movie, but you could tell at the end of the day it was also a love story. So when they kept promoting the Deadpool movie as this love story, they weren't kidding, it really was. And one of the things I will say about the trailer did a good job of accenting the relationship between Baby and Deborah and how it all played up to the very last point of the film and how they really cared about each other. And I thought Lily James put on a fantastic performance as this young waitress who is not only a romantic interest but has her own interest at heart and ultimately cares about Baby, wants to see Baby succeed and whenever he does, but at the same time has her own goals and her own dreams. And what I also like about this film with Edgar Wright is how he was able to not only encapsulate this big action set pieces that complemented the soundtrack, he still focused at what the core of this movie was. And the core of this movie was the relationship between James's character and Elgort's character, and I thought he did a fantastic job of spotlighting that in certain scenes. And when you get towards the end of the film, you are completely bought into this relationship, and you can tell that these two characters really do care about each other. And again, I haven't seen this good of on-screen chemistry since the movie Everything, where both characters and actors were giving it their all, and I felt like the actors had such chemistry together to where it even complemented the film even more, seeing how believable and realistic that relationship was. Kevin Spacey basically is playing Doc. He's like the mysterious kingpin that like organizes all of the bank robbers, and he's also this veteran criminal mastermind who employs John Hamm's character and Jamie Foxx's character and John Bernthal's character and Eiza González's character. He's basically up at the very top and is organizing all of this. And the relationship he had with Baby, I want to say it's kind of like that dad figure where he's there for him, and you can just tell that with Kevin Spacey's performance that he ultimately cared about Baby and that he was there for Baby. And again, he was fulfilling that dad role of where your dad is going to let you make the mistakes, but at the end of the day your dad is still going to be there for you and help you make these grown-up decisions and help carry you throughout these ultimate life choices that you make. And also we want to talk about John Hamm's character. John Hamm's character of Buddy, you know, comes off as this handsome party animal, and he basically takes an interest in Baby and sticks up for Baby all the time. And when people like John Bernthal's character or even Jamie Foxx's character are constantly questioning Baby and trying to get up in his face and asking what's wrong with him, does he think he's better than us, John Hamm's character was always there to defend him, and also was like a second dad figure right behind Doc, and was always trying to ultimately look out for Baby. Now, Jamie Foxx did a really good job here playing Leon Batts, this rough and tough gangster who cares about nobody, who will shoot anybody who questions him or tells him no or questions his authority. And I like to see Jamie Foxx in this role. Again, Jamie Foxx was made for this role, but he does offer up some exposition for the film and also offers up some good back and forth for Baby, and offers up some good one-liners. But again, you could tell that Jamie Foxx was playing this character that you do not want to cross. He didn't smile, he didn't joke around, and when he did, you knew that somebody was going to die as soon as that happened, or as soon as he stepped on screen. Jon Bernthal, as little as he was using this as film, I thought that he was great towards the beginning of the film, and again, the back and forth that he had with Doc and with Baby was so hilarious to see. And I wish we could have seen a little bit more of Jon Bernthal, but again, he still put on a fantastic performance, and I can't wait to see what he does next, especially with his upcoming Punisher series coming out. And of course, our last main character will be Eiza González, and basically she is the Bonnie figure here. She basically paired up with Buddy, and they're this love couple that you can tell that they also care about each other, but in a more insane and crazy way. And at the end of the day, you can tell that she's looking out for numero uno, but also takes Buddy into consideration. Up until the very end, you can tell that she was still loved Buddy's character, and that she was willing to do anything to also gain that high access life. And so again, I can't recommend this film more than enough. This was a great film, and there was just so much to talk about in this film and how amazing it was, and I could literally go on for hours about how good it was. Obviously I can't do that, you guys will get bored after a while. But one of the other things that I really want to talk about in this movie is the soundtrack, and how Edgar Wright basically makes sure it accented the scene and made it even better. So when we had these big action set pieces, not too over the top, but when we had these action set pieces when Baby was driving or certain things were happening on the screen, the music complemented that. And again, I haven't seen a soundtrack complement music this well since the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That was another movie where the soundtrack complemented each scene, and every time you heard one of the songs, you could relate it to a specific scene. So I definitely recommend you pick up the soundtrack for this if you are a lover of music. And so again, Edgar Wright here has another fantastic film on his hand. The film is just so amazing in what it does, but it does fall flat in certain spots, but it never really takes away from the film. The only problems I really had with it was some of the character motivations. Again, characters start out one way, and then all of a sudden they just take this dramatic change, and there's really no explanation to it. And then you have characters who are nice and innocent and don't really want to kill, all of a sudden decide to just start taking out guns and firing upon people. And Edgar Wright didn't really explain that all that well, but it still didn't take away from the overall tone of the movie. But as far in terms of a score, I'm gonna go extremely high with this movie, and I'm gonna go 9.5 out of 10. Again, I'm just taking a little bit off for some of the things that I mentioned in my negatives previously, but this is a damn near perfect movie. Like seriously, it's so good. This to me is definitely gonna be in my top 10. I can't wait to go check it out again in theaters. So guys, what did you think about Baby Driver? Have you seen the movie? Do you plan to go check it out? Do you plan to pick up the complimentary soundtrack that goes with it? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching this review. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel and subscribe, and hit the little bell as well so you can be notified every time a movie review drops like this, or anytime I do a film discussion. Thank you as always, and as I always say, remember to become a savage, stay a savage, and peace out, y'all.